Hello everybody and welcome back once again. My name is Jordan, also known as J-Monster, and you are watching the first battle of my second round in the TW Center multiplayer tournament. I'm playing against AdmiralThrawn, he is playing as Isengard, and I am playing as the Kingdom of Dale. And his army here, we'll take a quick look. He's got 3 units of pikemen, 2 or 3 units of Uruk-hai infantry, 4 units of Dunlending infantry, or like Dunlending veterans, whatever, 2 units of berserkers, and 2 units of Orthanc guard. So he is very infantry heavy, and I am very cavalry heavy, and archer heavy. And my plan here is to try and make him take more casualties in the advance than what he actually does. I'm trying to wipe out his units of archers here quickly, but my bowmen don't seem to be too effective against them. They are very heavily armored. So he sees that I have the ranged defensive here, as I usually tend to, and he's gonna rush his whole army forward to disrupt my skirmishers, or my ranged infantry. And my plan in this case is to use my cavalry in a decisive action. But as we will see, that does not work out very well. Dale Earls, I've never used Dale before, and I didn't realize that they were really, really slow, like barely faster than infantry, and they don't charge very well. So they're actually kind of rotten as heavy cavalry units. I don't really suggest that you use them ever. So his infantry is going to clash into my lines here. I'm going to try and move my troops forward to engage him. I forgot to take them out of spear wall formation, so they don't actually charge. And what ends up happening is, right here, he sees my troops moving forward at the last second, and he suckers them out of place, and I don't notice it until much later in the battle, because I'm trying to micromanage a million different things, because he's moving troops all over the place and surrounding me, and I've got a bunch of Dunlendings breathing down my neck on the right flank. And yeah, as you'll see here, I try to use my cavalry to do something decisive to his massed infantry on the right flank here, but it does not work out very well. They're terribly outnumbered here, and they have managed to outflank my unit of Dale Earls. And I don't see what's going on here with the infantry. I'm not really paying all that as much attention as I should have been, and my troops get sucked out of position. So if I hadn't have done that, I might have managed to hold the line a little bit better, but yeah, we'll see. Well, you'll see what happens, but yeah, not too impressed with Dale as a faction in vanilla. They're kind of, I don't know. I just don't like them. Maybe it's because it's my first time playing them, and I didn't really think that they were all that stellar, but there you go. So I don't realize that I have to pull these guys back farther in order to get them to have a decent charge. So they're just going to walk into that unit of Dunlending veterans, and they're going to take some casualties in the retreat. I'm trying to refocus my archers to take on his various reserves here to deal a decent amount of damage to them. And I see that things are going kind of sideways on my right flank, so I'm going to move my troops out of there. And then all the while that this is happening, he is just showering my Earls with crossbow bolts. So what I should be doing is focusing my archers' fire onto his crossbows in order to put some pressure on them, but I don't really realize just the toll that they're taking on my Earls. I think it's just he's shooting them with crossbows. He's got a unit of wargs in there, and he's got a unit of Dunlending's veterans. So one of my units of Earls gets wiped out almost immediately. And yeah, he's gonna take the remnants of his wargs and he's gonna move them around to my other flank. He's prevented from going right for my archers in the center there by a bunch of stakes. But at this point I realized kind of the limitations of Dale's cav here, so I pulled them back far enough that they can actually get a decent charge. But in the center here, my infantry line is just not holding its own against Isengard. So we get some decent charges off here, but they don't really do a whole lot to shake the morale of our enemies, and we end up taking a massive amount of casualties in return. So it's not going well for us right off the bat. We've had units surrounded, and yeah, he's broken through here, so he's going to move to attack my archers with some of his infantry, and that's that border is going to remain pretty much static throughout the rest of the game. So finally I notice what his crossbowmen have been doing the whole time, and I'm going to send my Dale unit Earls into their unit to attack them. They are underwhelming. They don't really do a whole lot of damage, and they lose a ton of people in melee to archers. So I see what's going on. I'm gonna try and pull them back out of there. I've got a fairly decent unit of cavalry there. I've got 2 units engaged with his crossbowmen, but they have not really done their job there all that well. He's going to manage to get some reinforcements over there to support them. But at the same time, I noticed that he created a gap, so I'm going to try and charge into the rest of his infantry there. But they are going to run over the Dunlendings and come face to face with some of his very heavy spearmen. So again, thinking that they can charge over that amount of distance, I throw my units back into the fray against his Dunlending axemen. And while this is going on, his cavalry here has launched a very devastating charge into my Athala Rangers, who they're going to manage to rout that unit of wargs, but they're going to take like a third of the unit in casualties. So I see that he's wiping out my cav. I have only 1 unit of decently numerous cav left, so I'm going to pull my general out of there in order to preserve him for later in the battle. As you can see, he's going to last for quite a while. I'm going to get another decent charge off here against these Uruk-hai crossbowmen, but I don't have enough Earls and they're to really do the damage I need to, and this unit of crossbowmen isn't even going to be phased by losing half the unit. So yeah, he's just pouring more and more troops into the gap. I'm trying to shore up my archers with my spearmen reserves, but for the most part my units have been ground into the dust. So I'm going to make another mistake here, and I'm going to send my archers in here to try and shore up my my second line center, but unfortunately my Athala archers are not as good in hand-to-hand combat as I would have expected them to be. So I'm going to try and pull that unit away there from his spearmen to preserve them. It's my last greatest hope at accomplishing anything, but he's just going to be relentless in shooting them with his crossbowmen. So they are going to die, unfortunately, useless, frivolous deaths. I know I'm hating on the Dale Earls. It's just they were really not what I expected them to be in this battle. As you can see, they just died and really didn't do a whole lot in retaliation for it. They're just far too slow. As you can see here, they're barely faster than infantry. So I've managed to flank his units attacking my troops here. I'm going to attack these crossbowmen and try and stop them from shooting my general. But his crossbowmen they're going to beat back my Dale Earls in melee, and it's just not going to be not good for them. Yeah, and he's going to move his spearmen over there to attack my Earls, and at the same time he's doing this, he's sending another unit of Orthanc spearmen to attack my cavalry. Yeah, there's just nothing that they can do at this point. There's just not enough of them. And even if there was, I really doubt they'd be all that effective. So I've got 3 units on my right there that have been fairly victorious, fairly successful against his infantry. I think they managed to kill a unit of berserkers, as well as some other Uruk-hai units. And I'm going to try and get them to rout this 1 unit of pikemen, but unfortunately they're just going to take their sweet time in doing it, and they are not going to finish with those pikemen in a decent enough time to capitalize on his general going down here. So if I could have pulled them off there and used them to surround this infantry blob, maybe it would have been different. Maybe if my barding archers here hadn't have decided to rout, things could have turned around for me at this point. But no, my Dale infantry is they're going to take far too long killing these Isengard pikemen, and they're just not going to be available to do anything decisive. So at this point, my infantry is just being hacked down by Isengard's superior warriors, and yeah, at this point I've just made too many mistakes, and I didn't bring enough heavy infantry, I guess, and I should have brought some different cav, and maybe I would have been able to do some different stuff here. But like I said, I made a lot of mistakes, and Admiral Thrawn is not the kind of player you want to make a lot of mistakes against, because he will punish you for them, and he does quite severely in this battle. So at this point, I have basically no hope of winning. My infantry have been completely annihilated, and those that haven't been are going to follow suit pretty quickly. So yeah, I'm just going to continuously move my general around here, try and keep him out of the range of his crossbowmen and keep him in range of my troops in order to inspire them and keep their morale up. But despite my general's valiant efforts, most of my troops are going to begin to rout. Yeah, you can see them. All of my troops here have disappeared. I see him moving a unit of Isengard, or of Uruk-hai infantry, and I'm going to try and bring my general in there to rout them quickly. I know that their morale should be at a low because my general, or their general, has been killed. So I'm going to throw my general in there. He's going to get raked, unfortunately, by a volley from the Uruk-hai, and the rest of them are just going to walk in there and not actually charge. So that's a little unfortunate. And I see him. He sees that my general has attacked his Uruk-hai, and he's going to try and catch him with his Uruk-hai infantry. But I'm going to thankfully get my general out of there just in time in order to escape that trap. And his troops are going to swarm against my infantry here. So I'm going to try and get them to attack these guys. Unfortunately, my Dale Earls decide that instead of following my orders, they're going to try and chase those crossbowmen. That's a little bit of lag right there, but unfortunately they're going to do something they're not supposed to, and they're going to end up routing. So that is the end of the cream of my heavy infantry here. All I've got left is the Barding Herd, and they're decent against Isengard infantry, but they can't hold their own against pikemen, and he has a lot of pikemen left. So unfortunately, that is the end of the battle for me. I don't know if you have seen Admiral Thrawn's video, but it's up on his channel, so I'll put a link in the description. You guys should go check that out now. That's a Sylvan Elf versus High Elf battle. I lose that one, unfortunately, so I am out of the tournament. But I wish Admiral Thrawn the best of luck in the final round against whoever wins the second round 2 and becomes his opponent. And yeah, I hope that's it for the battle. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a tough battle. I think he had maybe 400 or so troops left at the end, and I obviously had less. But yeah, it was a good battle, so good game, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.